I've always had a thing for age when it comes to project vehicles. They say they don't build them like they used to, but how does that work when you build what was all over again? The team at Classic intends to take what used to be and recreate it. It's going to take a lot of partnering to make that happen.
The problem with trying to build an all-new 1953 pickup is that you can't just pick up the phone and order a new chassis. The guys at TCI know that. Their answer to that problem? Give us a couple of days. Hey, George, how are you?
Dan, how are you doing?
My name is George Oka, and I work for Total Cost Involved Engineering.
You're going to build our chassis, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to start building a 4754 Chevy pickup.
Nice.
The frame is the first prototype off the line for their new 50 to 53 Chevy truck series.
Although the cab and most of the components are on the market, chassis have yet to hit the street.
It's so important to get an accurate measurement because we need to duplicate the stock measurement into the TCI frame in order to get the original cab and bed to mount onto our frame.
These measurements won't just be for our chassis, they'll be used for every chassis.
So you got pretty much every measurement you need now, right?
Yes. Once we take all the measurements, we go back in the office to input it in the computer to make sure we have all the measurements the way that it needs to be. Once we have the blueprint, we'll send the data out to the laser cutter and get those pieces cut out.
Okay.
Dan, this is the frame rail fixture here.
The first step is to build the two primary side rails. TCI is making what's called a boxed chassis, which means all four sides will be closed. The original frame had an open or I-beam style chassis. Boxed rails are a stronger, more stable platform.
We came down to check out TCI's facility and to see the progress on the chassis. The frame rails look like they're pretty sturdy. They have really nice welding and beads on them.
As much welding as possible will happen while the chassis is still in the building jig. It won't be all of the welding required, but a good portion needs to be done before it leaves to have the accessories like fluid lines and suspension components added.
Hey, George.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh,
is this
pretty
us?
good.
Is this us?
That's you guys.
Wow, this has come a long way. We only had like just this one thing.
Yeah, no, it's all boxed. It's a box frame ready to go.
In R&D, the welding is pretty much all TIG style. Once the frame moves into mass production, MIG welding will play a bigger role.
We'll try to get as much welding done on the fixture as possible. That way when we pull it out of the fixture, we know that it keeps the integrity of the overall shape of the chassis.
They have it down pat. They have jigs for everything to mass produce the frames from just a flat sheet all the way up to a finished three-dimensional frame.
Clear. Gentlemen, we got to get this chassis over to the supervisor, Stat. I got to get a job on ER.
In the production area, the new chassis is given the same treatment all chassis get at TCI. Welding points are ground smooth by a team who do nothing but grind metal all day. Every possible welding seam is ground smooth to blend the metal as one solid piece. The chassis is then put onto a sling and moved down the line to have accessories added.
Well, for a lot of the pickups like this one is, we use a lot of the same fixtures and brackets because the holes are going in the same area. We use all stainless line. Brake lines are 3/16 in diameter. The better fittings also, they're aluminum, they're not brass. So just a whole lot better. I mean, if I were to build a car, that's the way I would go. You know, cut no corners.
As far as the TCI frame, it has to be one of the highest quality frames I've seen. It definitely, they know what they're doing. They put together a quality part. They do great welds. They have some great welders here. And they've just mastered the ability to produce a good product.
In just under 7 days, TCI has managed to design, engineer, and build chassis number 001. All for us. That's the power of television for you.